Hey everyone, welcome to Mr. U's Reviews. Today I'm reviewing Venom, Let There Be Carnage. This film, just like the first, follows Eddie Brock / Venom as they both share a symbiotic relationship now. And to reignite his writing career, Eddie Brock decides to write about and interview Cletus Cassidy, a serial killer. And before long, Cassidy becomes the host of a symbiote, Carnage, and this creates some major conflicts between Venom and Carnage, as well as Brock and Cassidy. First of all, let's talk about the cast. And before anything, I should mention that this film, at times it can be a little corny and a little silly. It's more comedic than the first film, but the cast knows exactly how to approach a film like this. They know not to take themselves too seriously and just go for it with their performances. And that's what every member of this cast does here, including Tom Hardy and Michelle Williams, Woody Harrelson, Naomi Harris, and more. They just go for it with their performances to, make sure the audience has a good time. And it was especially fun seeing Tom Hardy in a role like this, because you usually see him in more dramatic performances like in Warrior or Dunkirk or Inception, just much more serious dramatic performances, though he can be a little comedic at times. But over here he ups the comedy a little more while still keeping a little bit of the drama of this character, because it's not a full-blown comedy movie, but it just wants to be fun, and that's exactly what the cast does here. They really complement the tone that they were going for with this film. Now let's focus on the characters of this film, and I gotta say, just the camaraderie between Eddie Brock and Venom was really well realized in this film. You really understand the duality between just this one character, because they have a symbiotic relationship, and you get a sense that they're not necessarily like the best of friends, but they know each other well, and they know each other's strengths and weaknesses to team up and face off these two villains, Carnage and Shriek. And this leads to something that could have been improved a little more, and that is with the two villains. I felt like they were a little underutilized here, especially with Carnage, since this is a character that people have been wanting to see on screen for a while now. And although Carnage gets, Cletus Cassidy / Carnage, I should say, they get like a good amount of screen time, I wish that character was fleshed out a little more, because this is a 1 hour 30-something minute movie. They could have easily added 20 more minutes to flesh Carnage out more and Cletus Cassidy out more, as well as Shriek, so that when Venom and Eddie Brock face off with Shriek and Carnage, it feels more impactful as a result. Still though, I thought all the actors, like Tom Hardy, all the actors of these characters like Tom Hardy, Woody Harrelson, and Naomi Harris, they just go for it. So it makes the movie still feel fun, but some of the writing of the characters, like the villains, could have been improved. Now, something that's a major improvement from the first film is the way that this movie just sticks with one tone and just rolls with it. Because with the first Venom, there's a lot of seriousness with it, a lot of darkness, which is totally fine. But then when they start adding, a little comedy to it, and it really kind of starts embracing the silliness of the situations, it felt kind of tonally inconsistent. And this film is less tonally inconsistent because it chooses to stick with one tone, that being, kind of embracing the corniness, a little bit of the comedy, instead of it really focusing on like the seriousness of the film. And this movie could have, stuck with a serious tone, and that would have been fine. It's just the fact that it stuck with one tone that I really appreciate, at least more than the first film. It was less tonally inconsistent. But something with the story that could have been improved is that, looking back on the movie, you don't really feel like the character of Eddie Brock / Venom changed that much. He didn't really go through like a character arc. He ended up where he started out, just personality-wise, character-wise, even with the introduction of these new characters like Carnage and Shriek. So I would have enjoyed seeing, you know, maybe a little shift in character as he experiences new stuff. They could have really done that with this storyline, but that doesn't really happen. So you're kind of left as a viewer ending up where the first film ended, at least with the main character. Now that does not pertain to the post-credit scene, which you should wait for. But, you know, just with the main film, I think they could have done a little more with the story overall. Overall, Venom Let There Be Carnage was an enjoyable, yet flawed film. Just, you know, emphasizing on the camaraderie between Eddie Brock and Venom, that duality, it was really important to see, and this film really focuses on that here. And seeing how all the actors, they just go for it with their characters, it just makes it, you know, all the more enjoyable for the audience to watch, just seeing them embrace the tone of this movie. But there were still some things with the story that could have been really improved. Easily 20 minutes could have been added to this movie to just focus on developing and fleshing out our villains, especially Carnage, since he's a major character that many people have been wanting to see on screen for a while now. And also, I think our main character, Eddie Brock / Venom, he stays a little too static in this film, and you don't really see any change from the start of the film to the end with this character, which is kind of unusual for a main character, and I wouldn't have minded seeing maybe more kind of major events happen in this film to even give him like a little character arc at least. But overall, I give Venom Let There Be Carnage a C+. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. And as always, don't forget your popcorn. Until next time, from Mr. U to you, stay tuned.